They call this Actoria because everybody who's an actor lives around here.
There's so much talent, and when you see that, it's a beautiful thing.
The fact that right here in my little neighborhood, we have such extraordinary talent.
You got my attention a little earlier because I had seen that you had done Lucky Stiff and Triumph of Love, which were a little off the beaten path. When we saw The Pillow Man, what I remember from that is there was a great set design by Stephen Dobay that really elevated the whole thing, and we had seen the original production on Broadway of that, and we enjoyed it seeing it again. It was a really well-done production, and it showed that you could do things other than musicals. There was a lot of levels to what APAC could do.
The first time I worked with APAC was to choreograph Children of Eden 3 years ago. We had a fantastic group of people on Children of Eden. It was one of those things where every single person in the room was such a contributor to what was on stage. So I would say that the process of that was absolutely amazing.
What was fun about Children of Eden, I knew the show. I had known the show for a long time, and I was reading for the part of the snake, and I had this whole idea that it's kind of almost a ringmaster type, like a showman. And so I read it the first time and got through it, and Tom let me get all the way through the scene. I think he said, that was Shakespearean. Could we try it again like a normal person? I think was the direction that I got.
When I came to see that and I saw the set and how we were, the audience, as an audience, we were sitting all around, that was just incredible to me. And then just the caliber and the talent that is on that stage, it was just so beautiful. The singing and the whole production.
A lot of people come here with preconceived notions of like, oh, it's an outer borough theater company. It's going to be very small. It's going to be cardboard cutout sets, and like one guy on a keyboard and then you come out and there's like a full band and a full cast, and it's more impressive like when you actually get to see it. So I mean, that's why we're always trying to drag new people to come in and see it. The people who otherwise wouldn't take the chance.
I even went to the one the camp one, where it started outside in the lobby, and we were like parents or campers or whatever going to camp, and I love going along with it.
We brought a group of people to see Billy Witch. The whole space was so transformed, and it was such an unusual piece. We brought people who some were big theater goers, some were not. Everybody had a good time, and was very intrigued that it was an interesting and unusual thing. I have a lot of friends who were made aware of APAC during the Human Comedy, because that was another show where you guys chose material that was not the normal thing that groups would do as a musical. A lot of people I know were always curious about but had never seen, and even the CD is hard to find, so even people who didn't live in the neighborhood came out to see that, and it definitely got a lot of attention.
But I never saw so many performers. I sat in the front row because I didn't know what to expect. I don't see very well. Well, my goodness, before you know it, I had 2 soldiers, World War II soldiers, sitting right around me. I tried not to make eye contact. It's very hard for me to do. But they were thoroughbreds. They were remarkable. The little boy in it, the train coming by, everything was so authentic.
And just to see a show that has not been done in New York for a very long time, it got a lot of people's attention, I feel like.
It's so professional, and it's across the street from my house. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe the number of people and the orchestrations and the singing and the costumes and the whole staging. It's
more professional than community theater. I mean, you have like all these equity eligible people or people in equity performing in your shows. So with Milk Milk Lemonade, I knew about the play before you guys announced that you were going to do it, and I had read about it. It sounded so bizarre. You guys announced you were doing it. I'm like, oh, we have to go see this, and it ended up like we ended up having to go see it on like a Sunday matinee, the worst time to see anything that's kind of like racy comedy. The whole ensemble, like the girl playing the chicken, the guy playing the grandmother. It's the kind of show that I live for.
Yeah, we actually still quote numerous lines from that, like, just in our daily life. So.
I'm sorry, I was miles away.
And Rochelle the spider.
The first thing I did was ragtime.
Yes.
Ragtime was a lot of fun. It was the first time experiencing Good Shepherd for the audition, and the process. I was cast as Houdini.
The cast was huge. I think it was 26 people.
So Houdini was a lot of fun to get to play, and I really enjoyed you guys of APAC being so open and welcoming and supportive, and being able to say to me with a straight face, we'd like to put you in a baby blue onesie and chains and lock you under the stage half an hour before the show starts in a dusty gym in February, in a space not big enough to sit up in or lay all the way down in, because that's going to make the show really pop.
And everyone was really very nice, very gracious, laughing, very fun, which is always, that's always a wonderful thing. We were embarking on this wonderful journey because Obama had just been inaugurated. So, you know, you're dealing with that historical event, and then you're dealing with ragtime and the racial issues and all the rest of that. And it was just an extremely poignant time. There was camaraderie, there was family. And I know that's definitely one of the things that I loved. I love about working at APAC, and that I loved about the show. It's like, we were just like on this journey, and we were traveling back in time. We were going through this experience, and, you know, go from that time to like current. It was just, it was amazing.
I first heard about APAC during, it was when Proof was going on. I had just moved to New York, just moved to Astoria, and I heard about this local theater putting up one of my favorite plays, and I went to go check it out.
Proof. I brought my daughter to see this, who had seen Proof on Broadway and spent a lot of money for tickets. So Donna and Allison and I came, and Donna was wowed. So she had the actual comparison of Broadway. So this was a remarkable accomplishment. Your sets are remarkable. They are lifelike and really authentic. I think the star of this show was the set. I never saw anything more magnificent in my life. Transporting us into an English dining room and seeing all these characters from India and whatnot, it was beautifully done.
I saw it 3 times. I would cry from beginning to end. The set was so extraordinary. I sang every song for the rest of my days after that constantly. It was in my head all the time. And it helped me so much. It was so cathartic, and it gave me a place to go and something important to work on.
That was amazing. It was heavy. I mean, you left seeing something special, because, again, you're right there. It's better than going to Broadway sometimes, because if you have to sit way back or overlooking, but going to APAC performance, you're right in it, right in it. Yeah, I always feel part of it, and I always get inspiration.
One of the things that I love about APAC that is different is that it doesn't have, it's a challenge and I think an attribute that it doesn't have a theater. There's not a home space. APAC does not have a space. So every time I talk about it with people, there's always that little bit of hesitation when I have to say, we're doing this great show in a church gym, but you have to come see it because you won't know. You really don't get that experience. The way that you guys put shows together is so professionally done and always looks so great.
I wish I were a millionaire. You'd have a place to perform, darling.
My favorite things of working with APAC is the chance to be a part of playmaking.
Playmaking is a community program that APAC does with a local after-school program where the kids write plays. And then they bring in actors and directors to actually just put on a staged reading of these with the kids there.
I played a monkey named Zach, which is still on my resume, by the way.
This year I was a pillow with a British accent.
I know there was one point where I played like a talking pig, and I think it was a pig that walked backwards or something. It was like all this walk backwards and do all these different things.
There's just so much imagination and so much fun put into these plays. It's a joy.
I was a cloud, a talking cloud.
I was either a poodle or a bracelet. I can't quite remember.
You have no choice when you're like playing like these fantastical, crazy creatures, but to just be as honest and be as real with it as possible. So the playmaking experience was great.
Some fun times always at Senior Stars. That's always a brilliant date.
Tom always had talked about Senior Stars being like one of the most fun events of the year for APAC. And so, I don't know, I think we talked and figured like it might be a good match. Like,
at my senior center, showed me the ad in the local papers and advised me to go and try out for it.
Brought out the best in me, a challenge, a side of myself that I didn't even know I had, and it's the best time of the year for me.
And then last year, all the senior ladies, put your canes up, I mean, that was definitely a highlight.
All the senior ladies, all the senior ladies,
all the senior ladies, all the senior ladies, put your hands up.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Don't get mad because another brother noticed it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
It seems like it's always lifts my spirit up because there's always something going on.
I think APAC makes such a concerted effort to support the production, and every single person who works for APAC is so present in the process, and that's something I really appreciate.
It looked like a lot of fun, and a lot of singing, and a lot of acting, and a lot of getting to know people, and I was really excited about when I would turn 8. Give me something to look forward to.
I was shocked when we went because I felt kind of connected to my community, and then I went and I was like, who are all these people? How did they hear about this? Because I didn't know any of the people in the first year. And then the second year, I mean, I told a whole bunch of people, like, why don't you try out for this thing? It's great.
APAC was really my first audition for something, for a program, for a musical theater program that I recall.
How old were you?
I was 8. I was 8 years old. I'm at the LaGuardia Arts High School for performing arts now. It's not bad at all. I'm a drama major over there. My real performing arts, background with APAC was kind of the foundation of what I am today. Like everything I've learned, all of my training, I think it all started from APAC because that was the first, performing arts program that I was a part of.
You don't know what a source of joy you've afforded to everybody here. All stages of life. The accolades can come easily, but the truth of the matter is, economically, I can afford to see this a couple of times if I want. I can be very gallant and have guests to go to the theater with me. And you have candy and soda and whatnot. It's just wonderful. And I didn't wait on long lines. And it's just a gift to the community. And it's a gift to our hearts and souls, too.